Hi guys, and welcome back to That's Crazy. I'm Stella.
And I'm Omid.
So Omid,
Hey.
I have some questions for you.
Oh!
I'm jumping right into it
Gosh.
because I want to know. Have you been hooking up with anyone recently?
Well, I just went to Vegas. And, you know, what happens in Vegas usually doesn't stay in Vegas.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
It really does not.
No.
Nothing ever stays in Vegas.
No.
That shit sticks onto you like a leech.
Like a leech.
Yeah.
And you never, I was, my whole thing going up to, going into Vegas, like, I just want to like kiss someone. I just want to be like, making out with someone and holding someone. Didn't really happen.
Okay.
But, I tried and I was with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I've been a little dry these days.
Do you think when you like put pressure onto like I'm going on a trip and I'm gonna hook up with someone, do you think that that's like it almost like makes it to be something that doesn't happen because you're like anticipating that?
Absolutely. I went to Japan. I don't even think you know this.
Okay.
And I had literally no expectations of anything, meeting anyone, doing anything, going on any apps, any of that sort. And this was years ago, and I was just like feeling like, okay, like I have this hotel room to myself, like, I'm just gonna go on this dating app and see if I can meet a guy and hang out with them. Sure enough, met a cute boy.
Let's go.
And had a great like Japan moment. And so like, yes, I think when you put pressure on yourself to hook up with someone, it doesn't happen.
For sure.
So you just got to kind of go in with it with just wanting to have a good time, having fun with your friends or with yourself, and then just feel the vibes out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're talking about hookups today.
Yeah, we are.
And we're talking hookup culture. Are you, prior to being in a lovely, beautiful relationship, were you a hookup girl? Like, would you hook up in the sense of it's layered?
Yeah, everyone has a different, like, I think, definition.
Right, of hookup.
Yeah.
For hookup, hookup is just like, it could be like a one-night stand, but also just like making out. What's hookup to you?
I don't think I've ever really had like a one-night stand. I've like maybe had like one-night stand, but I don't even know if I would classify it as a one-night stand because I already went on a date with a guy before. That doesn't count, right?
No, it doesn't count. You gotta go into it, do what you gotta do, out, never talk to them again.
Yes. I mean, I've had that situation where I've never talked to them again after that.
Okay.
But I've never had a situation where it was like I meet someone and then have a one-night stand and never talk to them again. Like,
I have.
Really?
For sure.
Okay. So I do feel like I'm kind of like out of the loop on that one.
Yeah.
What's that like for you? Do you like that? Like, do you like a one-night stand? Like, what's your stance on a one-night stand? Because I think that there's a lot of like bad shit around it, which I don't think there needs to be.
Well, it's really just on preference. Like, I have been in places like Japan, Australia. I'm like listing all the places I've traveled to, but like where I just like want to have just a cute kissing moment with someone.
Yeah.
And like I'm able to disassociate feelings from that person. Like I'm which is a good thing and a bad thing because, at the end of the day, Omid wants to get married and have kids, all that kind of stuff. But like, I'm at times able to kind of detach that stuff and just live in the literal moment and enjoy the moment I'm having with that person. And usually when I'm doing that, it's a mutual thing. Like it's a mutual agreement and that's what it is.
Absolutely.
So there's literally no pressure, which makes it nice. And obviously I'm very safe about it. I'm not seeing like random scary guys. I'm like, checking their Instagrams before I even, talk to them. But I am able to really do that and be okay with really just not talking to them because that's just what we established before we went into it.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I get that. I think the biggest thing for me is like when it comes to intimacy, I don't need to know the person super well.
Got it.
To have a good time.
Got it.
But if I don't have this sort of like really strong attraction to someone, then it's not going to do it for me.
Got it.
And so before I even like to like, and this is just for my situations. I don't think I was ever put in a position where it's been like most of the times if I was hooking up with someone, I would then get into not a relationship, but like I would then see them for at least weeks or months like after that, because it's not that I get attached by any means, because I don't really have that problem of like, oh, I get attached and then like I need to see this through.
Right.
But most times, like if I'm going to be intimate with someone, like I need to have something that's like really like, I don't know, like just like exciting and this like kind of cool attraction to them that I've never really been in a situation where I was like, all right, like let's just kiss and bang and then like I'll never see you again.
Interesting.
But I can disassociate those things. Because if there's been times where I've like seen, someone a few times and then, we do a whole thing and then I'm like, oh, fuck this shit, So I think that, I don't know, because it's funny because it's like, I think people always be like, well, that's the difference between a guy and a girl. But I don't think that's necessarily true.
No, girls are into that too.
Absolutely. I just don't think I was ever put in a position where it was like I off the bat had immediate attraction to someone and then, we hook up and never see each other again.
Got it.
It was always like something came from it after.
Interesting.
But that is like such a common thing that happens in life. And I feel like I almost missed the boat.
I'm like this, well, you can live through me because I'm still going through it right now, literally. But
so, okay, when you have these one-night stands, like what initially, like...
How does it lead up to it?
Yeah. Like, what's the vibe?
Well, the vibe is, it really depends because, I usually, go on Tinder most of the times when I do have that kind of stuff. I will, go on like a date with them.
Yeah.
And then kind of, suss out the vibes, obviously see they're a cool person, and then either, chill at my place or, their place, and then just kind of like go about it and just like enjoy the night. And, sometimes it doesn't happen and sometimes it does happen. And there's been times when, I've, seen a guy and it got to the point of that and I was like, ooh, like I started kissing them and I was like, this just isn't, I just am not really attracted to them. I've had that before. Not attracted to them, but it just like wasn't doing it for me because it was just something missing. I was probably in my head about it. I get a lot when I'm, romantic with people. I'm usually in my head a lot of, I try not to be, but like leading up to it, I'm really in my head about it of like when to make the moves and all that stuff. But like for one example, like I was just, kissing this guy and I was like, this just is not it. Like I'm not, and I just didn't continue. I was like, I'm sorry, like this isn't what I'm into, or like I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling the vibes, and that was it. Yeah. And closed. That's it. Never talked. Totally fine. But it usually leads with like, the dating apps of like going, on a little tiny like drink and then seeing where the night takes you.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think there's also that like added pressure of the conversation of like, should you sleep with someone on the first date?
Right.
Everyone always has like such a different opinion on that.
Right.
To me, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it if the vibes are good and you guys are both, consenting to doing that and like having a good time.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong about that.
Yeah.
But there is always that thing where it's like, oh, you don't want to have sex on your first date.
Like a one-night stand.
Why?
Yeah. Why not?
Like it doesn't make any sense to me. But also the conversation of like, like when women do it, it's always like, oh, well, she's a slut. And when guys do it, nobody even thinks twice. So I think that maybe that's embedded into like the minds of women so often because there's always that off chance that someone's going to think like, negatively about what you're doing. I never thought that there was anything wrong with having sex on the first date. I think that it's just kind of if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it does, then it's like you see each other and that's great. But like I think most often, like when you meet someone, you really don't know if you have like a strong physical connection to them unless you start hooking up and having sex. And in your situation in that moment, you know, you start hooking up and you're like, damn, this is not for me.
And there you go. I knew.
And you have to know that.
Yeah.
It's better to know that.
So you've never been the type to like completely stop yourself and be like, I'm not going to do it until I'm fully invested in them?
No, I mean, definitely. Like, I think that every situation is different. Uh-huh. It always comes down to like how you're feeling, where you're at in life. I mean, I definitely have had moments where I've been like, you know, I want to wait a little bit because sex does so often add a lot of complications.
It does, yeah.
And a lot of different feelings.
You get attached.
Yeah, and I think that it's nice to sometimes wait to make sure that, like, you know, who you're starting to date is someone that you actually want to, like, become physical with. So I've done both, where it's been like, like, this feels fine, this is great, and also when I've been like, nah, I want to take a step back and, you know, like, assess before anything goes further, because you know, adding physicality into any relationship definitely brings a little bit of emotions.
It's so funny, like, I'm always attracted to people that are from out of town, like out of towners. I'm always into the long distance type of hookups, type of situation.
Yeah.
Weird.
Fear of commitment.
Fear of commitment. I think that's what it is. I have a fear of commitment.
You call it weird. I think we can call it fear of commitment.
Yeah, it's called fear of commitment.
Which is fine.
But Stella, I've literally, like, if we go back, actually, let's take a second.
Okay, let's take a second. A lot
of my guys that I've been with
are
out at, they're not in they don't live within literally 50 miles from me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's a choice.
That's just a strange choice.
Why do you think it's strange?
Why haven't I found someone in LA?
Fear of commitment.
That's what it is. We unpack a lot on this podcast, guys.
Well, I mean, I think it's like the way that I see it is like, yeah, I mean, if you're constantly searching for something that's long distance, I think that it's so like you can have the moments where you feel like you're in a relationship with someone. You get all the benefits and the perks, but you also don't have to see them all the time, so you can kind of keep them at like arm's length.
That's, yeah. And you know, I love my girlies and my friends, so it's like,
there's nothing wrong with not wanting to be in a relationship. Right. I think that's why, like, being able to hook up and stuff is the best thing that you can do.
Right.
And I think you're always pretty transparent about those things, you know?
Yeah.
So I think there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. That's just maybe my vibe. But I told you, I want a husband and kids. So.
One day. Yeah. You have so much time.
I'm like, we're young.
We're so young. We have so much time. Like your timeline, literally, you can have so much more fun.
I don't got to be worrying about anything. I'm gonna adopt a cute little kid.
Yeah,
I'm
you
good.
are.
Literally, love that for me. Literally.
It's funny because when you really do think about, like, you know, hookups and hookup culture, it's one of those things that, like, when you're going through it and like you're seeing people, I think the only thing that you can ever hope for is to have an open mind and to see, you know, if someone introduces you into things that you like and things that you don't like. I think there is just as much importance in knowing what you don't like, especially when it comes to sexual things.
Yes.
To the things that you do like.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why you gotta, in a safe way, just explore that.
Yeah.
When you can.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely had moments where, you know, I've been on dates and I've gotten the vibe from someone that, you know, like, because I think that, like, so often, like, when you're on a date with someone, you can almost feel like their, like, sexual aura.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
Like
it's
through
like the
like
lip
tension.
biting. It's the looking at the lips.
Yeah, there's like tension.
You can feel that. Oh my gosh, the hottest thing is when a guy is like, "Oh, I was waiting for you to do that." I'm like, "Well, shit! Like I should have done it earlier." Because you know, yes, there's such an there's such a vibe that you get.
For sure.
That you can tell if that person's on that same level with you sexually.
Absolutely. And when you feel like there's that like vibe isn't there and that sexual chemistry isn't there, then that's when you're like, oh, I got a dip.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So yeah, it is one of those things, especially like I consider myself a very sexual person. So I want to be able to feel like that can be matched.
Yep.
And, though I maybe haven't had like too many experiences where I've been like, you know, put out of my comfort zone when it comes to like hookups and stuff, I definitely think that like having an open mind and being able to be down for like, you know, anything that is comfortable for me has helped me grow a lot in that, you know?
Has there ever been a guy that was like not wanting to do that and, you know, to sleep with you on the first dates or, you know, wanted to take that slow?
I don't know how to answer without sounding like I'm like, oh, no. No. I mean, here's the thing. I always respect what someone wants and what someone's willing to give, you know, because I hope to get that respect back. So, you know, maybe I haven't had a situation exactly like that, but, you know, I think that like, it's always good to be really honest and upfront about like what you're doing, you know, especially when it does come to like the topic of sex. So I think that I've always had like really honest communication where we've always been kind of on the same vibe, but it's hard for me because like I said, I've never really had a one night stand. So I'm not really, I'm boring.
Like this, damn. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. I have plenty of other things.
Unless you're figuring it out every night with different ways of making it spicy. You can make a one night stand, just like, you know, pretend like you're making a one night stand every night.
So when you're dating, like, or when you're like seeing someone new, like, do you think that like sexting and stuff is like ingrained into your hookup culture?
Yes. I definitely think even during COVID, like you know, obviously we weren't seeing a lot of people. So getting like virtually connected with people and like talking intimately with people on social media, not social media, but like dating apps was something that I had to like become accustomed to.
Yeah.
And to, you know, learn and adapt and, you know, I don't really prefer it because I'd rather just like actually be there physically with someone.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I don't know if I'm the best like sexter. Are you? Like, are you a good, like, would you say you're good at that? I really, like, a lot of guys are looking to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are like, send me like something crazy so I can like, you know, just have a, you know, they want those messages of what you're envisioning them doing and all that stuff. I'm just really not the type to like type like that and talk like that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's fine.
What about you?
Yeah.
You're capable of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what to say. See, like, if I were to do it, I need, like, your help. And I'm pretty
like
sure
I have helped
you literally have helped me do this.
Yeah. I do think it's like a hidden talent that I have.
She's got it. I'm on this. Please DM Stella for any help that you need.
I can help anyone that needs a little bit of a
tender love and care.
Some TLC.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it's interesting that you don't have that much experience doing that, even though you're like the king of long distance relationships.
But because I don't. That's not something that the guys that I've been with have been looking for in those relationships.
Interesting. Because I feel like sexting is such a huge part of
relationships.
At least our generation as well. And maybe like the upcoming generations too. Like I feel like that's
Snapchat.
Yeah. Snapchat.
Oh.
That was like the beginning of sexting.
That was like,
or not beginning, but like
but
sexting
that was
through
like,
social media.
That was like built to like easily do it, you know?
Yeah, I was never a big Snapchatter. I actually didn't like Snapchat for that reason, because when I first heard about it, I was like, this shit is literally for sending nudes.
Oh,
which is like not
really
bad.
Like, got it.
Which isn't bad. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I was like, what? Like, if I don't think that I don't know. Like, if I wanted to send anyone anything, I'd want to feel enough trust with them that I think that's the thing as to why like I'd never had one night stands. I need to feel a barrier of like trust and comfortability to feel comfortable.
And you can't trust anyone when you send stuff to them. Girl, I will not be sending anything with my face on it. I cannot do any of that stuff. I am so scared. I cannot trust anyone.
Yeah.
So that's why I avoid that at all costs.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, like, you know, I have my OnlyFans.
Right. Oh, you do?
I do. And, you know, that barrier of trust does get kind of breached when people try to leak things, because I'm like, damn, like, why are you trying to do this? Like, it feels kind of like a betrayal to an extent. And, you know, you kind of always can find out, like, who's doing it, but it's such a thing. So for me, I'm like, it wasn't even the fact that I was, like, scared. It was just more like, I mean, yeah, I guess, like, before I had my OnlyFans, I was like, I don't want this shit to get leaked.
Oh, that's true. But yeah, you're right. Different for you now.
Different for you now.
Hey, we're supportive.
I got different things going for me now.
Hey, wow, that's a whole other thing.
That is a whole other thing.
So I'm like, your shit's getting leaked.
No, I mean, it doesn't happen often, but, like, if it does, like, you know.
It's not a good feeling.
It's just kind of like, damn. Really? Like, shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But no, but I get that feeling, because, like, if I didn't have an OnlyFans and photos of me that were, I think the thing is, like, when photos of you come out that you're not
wanting to be out,
like, yeah, or it's like sent to a specific person or persons,
yeah,
then it's like, you know, you want it to be in their hands and their hands only.
Yeah.
But it is such a different generation now with, like, having OnlyFans and people being able to post those sort of photos. Because it wasn't always like that, you know? It was like a lot of time things were getting leaked, and that was, like, life-changing and horrifying, you know?
This is a crazy question.
Okay.
Have you ever been with someone that wanted to document your hookup?
You know, my answer is pretty boring. My answer is no.
What?
I know. And I think that it's because, you know, I think in the past I maybe gave off the vibe that I was like, you know, I think that maybe I've been asked before, but I was like, I do not want this documented because things can always leak. And that to me was horrifying. So I was always on the vibe of, like, you know, I'd be down if there was, like, if this is in the past too, I'd be down if there was like a something that couldn't leak, like, not on a phone. But no one ever asked me, and I'm kind of offended.
No.
And, you know, things are different now, obviously.
Right.
But back then, yeah, no one ever really asked. And I'm like, what the fuck? I have plenty of documents now.
That's true. Your laptop's full of documents of you.
Maybe with my new career choice, that doesn't really align. But no, I mean, have you?
No.
Are you a big documenter?
That's like my worst fear.
To document or to?
No, to have. Well, I've been in a situation where I thought someone was documenting me, and I literally was, like, searching to, like, make sure that there's no, like, device, like
a
filming.
Secret document?
Well, like, that's just, like, been a fear of mine.
Okay.
So, like, if it's someone that I'm not, like, 100% sure of, like, I have been like, oh my gosh, like, is there a camera here? Like, is there something watching me? So, like, yeah, that in a sense, I've literally, like, had to, like, stop and, like, suss out the environment. But no, that's not for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, it's not something I would even want to, like, look back at.
Really?
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah.
You want to look back at you?
Yeah, I'm hot.
I mean, same, but, like.
Yeah, you're hot too.
Yeah, I mean, but,
I think it comes down to personal preference, you know?
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to see Omid get into, like, a freaky stage of his life.
I know. I need to be more, like, open. And, like, I need to just meet new guys. I do.
So you have no kinks?
Nothing.
Not a single one?
No.
Damn.
No.
That makes me want to see what your sex looks like.
It's very like a movie. It's like a movie. I like when I'm like, you know, making love, it's like a movie.
That's romantic.
Yes.
That should be
I'm
documented.
a romantic.
Yeah,
Why do you think I literally, like, try to, like, cuddle with the person, like, throughout it all? I'm like, this, you know what? Maybe we just, like, should stop and just cuddle.
Stop during?
Yeah, because I'm like tired.
I'm dead.
I'm like, let's just chill for a sec.
That's funny. That's so funny. I love that.
Yeah.
You create a safe space.
Oh, yeah. No, of course. I mean, the only thing that I would want is for the other person to feel comfortable and like, hey, if they've got something that they're looking to do, I'm not opposed to it, but no one's really been down to like do anything crazy with me.
Maybe you got to be the one to
Yeah, maybe I got to like change it up.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. I realized recently that through my books, I have a bit of a praise kink.
A who?
A praise kink.
What does that mean?
It means like when, it's like,
You're good job, girly. Keep going. Like that? Like that? Is that a praise kink?
Yeah. I mean, if
rock
someone
on,
said that to me,
rock on, Stella. You're doing great, sweetie.
If someone said that to me during sex, I would literally punch them.
Oh, you'd punch the shit out of them.
Yoink.
Oh.
But I would, just like telling me that,
you look good.
I'm beautiful and I look good and I feel
During
good.
it.
Yeah, I think that's exciting.
That's cute.
Yeah, I mean, it's like nothing like crazy. I mean, I have a few others, but maybe I won't disclose.
Are you trying to get me to figure out something that...
You're out here saying you want to stop during sex and cuddle.
Yes.
So I'm not going to be like, I like this, this, and this.
Well, hey. The people want to know.
I'll sound like a goblin compared to you.
Well, you read these crazy books, so like maybe we should like expose the book. What the heck these books have got going on?
The Orcsworn series by Finley Fenn. Go read it. It's a hot series.
I'm not going to expose you. I'm not exposing Sal, but I'm kind of exposing Sal.
Are you about to tell the story about the fucking hustler?
I'm just saying that Stella read this book and she said she wanted to go to this sex store. Okay. And next thing you know, I saw a tree trunk of a wiener.
Okay, hold up. Run it back. Okay, I was reading these books, okay, and they were very exciting, and they were talking about a lot of different things that I have never read before and experimented. So naturally, I drag, Omid and our friend Joey and obviously Eric to adult store.
Love it. They're fun.
They were fun. I love an adult.
Yeah, I
mean, it's a sex store, but
it's just for like
just for fun.
Yeah.
But we go to this like random ass store. I mean, it was a hustler, but it was like on the worst.
It was like not the one to go to.
It was like the bad hustler.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was looking for. That's a thing. Like when I say I'm open to things, I'm just open. I don't even have like an idea of like, I want it to look like that. Like I just want to see what's out there. And I was reading these books about orcs, and they
orcs are like hot humans, basically, right? I don't even like orcs.
Oh God, I don't even know how to describe an orc to anyone without mentioning. Every depiction of an orc is like this horrible, savage, brutal beast, and the way that Finley Fenn kind of depicts them is very different. They almost look like green elves. Okay,
but they're like human-like.
But they're like human-like to an
hot
extent.
Guys,
they're hot guys,
they're hot
big,
guys.
they got big bangs.
Bing bong.
Yeah, they got big bing bongs.
Yep. Nope.
Never referred
as a bing bong, and I'm here for it. We love a bing bong.
That's so funny. They got like little fangs, like they're hot, whatever. Okay. And I didn't know what I was looking for, but like all of a sudden, like everyone thought that I was looking for like this huge fucking,
tree trunk of a wee wee.
Of a bing bong.
Yeah.
And that was not what I was looking for. I honestly just thought it would be fun to see what kind of toys they had that were semi-reminiscent of what is being discussed in my orc porn books. And
it's kind of like 50 Shades of Grey status. Like how some people, like after they read it, probably went out to the stores and like bought a whole bunch of like whips and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's great. If a book can like channel things that you want in, in bed, Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I think like getting into the scene of reading these like romance and kind of almost like erotica novels have made me realize that there is such a large community out there that loves to talk about these things.
Yeah.
And like maybe some people would find it embarrassing, but I'm like, I'm so in the vibe of like, I don't feel any shame for liking what I like. And a lot of people don't either. So I'm like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with just like, having a little bit of fun and figuring out what you like,
Yeah.
I think it's nice to just spice things up.
Yes. Yeah. Damn, I gotta spice things up too.
I've been telling Omid to read these books, but he's never gonna read.
I'm gonna read it. I have some time these days. I have a little bit of time on my hands these days, so I'm gonna read the books that you've been clearly spicing up your life with.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if you're gonna get anything crazy
out of
from
it.
them.
I think I'll probably just be like really like excited and like wanting to like hang out with a guy the next day. It's
Bing
really,
bong.
Bing bong. Whoa, bing bong. There you go. Damn.
It's so funny. Well, I apparently things change. Like, isn't there like a thing where like your sexual appetite goes crazy when you're in your 40s or your 50s?
It does.
I feel like that's like a thing. Your sexual
So
appetite.
it hasn't even started?
Yeah, I think we're like amateurs right now.
That's great news.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I don't think I've made love enough to yeah, that's great. Phenomenal. Let's keep it going.
We have time on our side.
And that's what psychs myself out. Yeah. I feel like I haven't necessarily been in a long-term relationship and, had a steady thing with someone, but like we're young still. And no, actually, no matter what age you are, keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Do what feels right.
Yeah.
There doesn't need to be any shame surrounding it.
No.
I mean, obviously, there are always like external forces that can maybe make you feel ashamed.
Unless you got a pill for that, though. If you're a guy, you make your bing bong bigger with one pill and you're done.
I cannot get over the reference of
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. That's
And it's
insane.
It honestly kind of works.
I love it. I think that's our new word. Should we make merch. Bing bong.
Yeah, would you guys wear Bing bong merch?
I would.
I think I would too.
Hell yeah.
With like our faces.
Yeah. Bing bong.
Bing
Bing and
bong.
bong. Yeah.
I want to be Bing.
I'll
be bong.
I'll be Bing.
Okay, cool.
All right, cute.
Do I look like a Bing?
Yeah, you look like
I'm a bong.
You're a bong. Damn, this girlie's switching up her bong and bings. Damn.
Oh my God. Of course, when we talk about sex on our podcast, my mind gets so rattled.
Well, I know what you're doing after this. I'm going home and sleeping, that's for sure.
No.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Maybe get your rocks off.
Aye. Bing bong's going to sleep.
All right, that's fine.
Damn, this was a spicy episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a little bit. I learned a little bit about you.
Yeah.
You learned a little bit about me.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know Omid likes to cuddle.
I love cuddling. So if you want to cuddle with me, just hit me up on Instagram.
Hit me up on Insta.
But we love you.
Yes.
Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Love yourself first.
Yes.
And then love others. And if you're gonna go experiment and do things, just literally just be safe about it from head to toe.
Yep.
Dead ass.
Dead ass. Bing bong.
We'll see you next week, Bing Bongs.
Mwah. Love you.
Mwah. Bye.